What is up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is another Ring Productions video, and I am your host, Eluthion. And I'm recording this really late in the evening, but I just watched, I know I'm a bit late, but I just watched the Xbox One reveal and the PlayStation 4 press conference. And I just thought I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this, since I have really lots of opinions on it. Let's just get this out of the window and say that I'm a PlayStation fan, and I've been that. That's like my introduction to gaming. I remember the Christmas when I was like 7 years old. I got a PlayStation 2, and I got like the Bionicle game, and I got Ratchet and Clank, the original one, and I just fell in love. And that was, I mean, the original Ratchet and Clank was really like my gateway to gaming. That was why I became a gamer in the first place. I mean, and the Ratchet and Clank series all the way through, the Sly Cooper series, and the Jack and Daxter series. Those three franchises are really so near and dear to my heart, and the whole PlayStation thing is very near and dear to my heart. But that's not to say I freaking hate Xboxes. I have an Xbox 360 in my home. I used to have a PlayStation 3 in my home, but it yellow lighted on me, so that kind of sucks, I guess. But yeah, so I played some Xbox 360, and I never liked like the way of it. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. I just want to talk about the way that Sony and Microsoft presented their products. I mean, I can see where Microsoft is going with their tactics. I mean, their press conference was not very games heavy. I mean, they had that whole EA Sports in there, I suppose, but that wasn't really. I don't consider the EA Sports games to be games. But their part of the press conference was really like multimedia focused. You know, this device that is supposed to like be your player for everything media related, music, movies, video games, I suppose. And then I think they're going to talk about the games portion at E3 this June. Um, and I think that's like the worst way you could get people excited about your product. And I think a lot of gamers like myself felt left out. I felt that there were like this really slick corporate guys in very nice suits talking to like the football guys. They had like a contract with NFL where you can just watch sports all day on your TV, and oh, yeah, you can Skype, but it's not really game related. I think like they just shut us out, we gamers, a lot, and I really didn't feel like a part of a culture like I do when I watch the PlayStation conference, or when I just go to watch a BlizzCon live stream, which I do every year. And I just feel like I want to raise my fist in like proudness of this gaming culture that we have and we love and we embrace. But with the Microsoft Xbox One reveal, I just felt like, yeah, it's like a big box for sports. And of course, it's got this next gen like stuff in it that's gonna be supposed to be playing really good games, but they like really didn't get a lot of people excited about their product games wise. Otherwise, I think it's a wonderful like multimedia device, but that's not really what I want out of a gaming console. I mean, I want games. I want to know what's the next gen in gaming, and as I said, I think they're gonna talk about that at E3. But like I think Max Scoville at Rev 3 Games used the analogy that they were using like they were eating all their vegetables first, and I think that's really the worst way to get people excited about your product, because you're really just, I mean, you're turning your back to so many gamers. That's your announcement of your product, and you better get people excited about that. And then the PlayStation press conference, the Sony press conference, they had like all these great titles that they were saying these are the titles that we are launching with, and it was really broad. I mean, the Watch Dogs, the new Infamous game, they look awesome, and also that knack thing that they talked about. It was really, yeah, cute and cuddly and cartoony, but it really harkened back to that original, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter thing. And it really felt, when I watched that knack trailer, I really felt, yeah, maybe I'm not gonna get super into it, but this feels so PlayStation. This feels so Sony. And I can't really say that about Microsoft or Xbox. I mean, the whole thing that I just thought when I was watching, just the way they looked. I mean, when the Sony guys came out and talked about the PlayStation, they looked like game developers that were excited about tech and excited about the future and their product, games wise, And they showed the specs. Well, maybe they were not saying a lot about what the specs really were. They were just like high words and no real facts. But anyway, I just thought that they did a much better job at getting as excited about their product. I mean, they have a really good page, a really good web page where they show trailers for the new games and images and all that, and I really love that. And I suppose that, as I've said, Microsoft is going to go games heavy at E3, but I think that when PlayStation and Sony goes more games heavy at E3, they're just going to blow Microsoft out the window because they've eaten their like games vegetables first, if you know what I mean. So yeah, and also the whole like always online thing just bums me the fuck out. It just rubs me the wrong way because you're excluding so many people. I mean, the whole reason I know a lot of friends, the whole reason they own a console is so they can bring it with them when they're traveling. They can bring it with them to like their country place where they don't have internet connection, and you're like excluding that guy in their mom's garage that don't have internet access, all the like lower income gamers out there in the world who really just can afford like maybe a AAA title once every 2 months for $60. I mean, that whole always online thing, that's just stupid. I mean, of course you want to be all this next gen and all this intuitive stuff, but I mean, just let those guys be offline and let those guys not benefit from your always online stuff. I mean, that's totally cool. I mean, if you're always online, if you have an internet connection, you're gonna be able to do certain stuff. But I want to be able to like play my next GTA game or my next like Call of Duty game or whatever game I'm playing without an internet connection. And if I want to Skype, that's too bad for me because I don't have an internet connection. But it shouldn't be a fucking demand. And the whole used games thing, that's just stupid. Come on. Really? Why? I don't even have to tell you why that's stupid. You can just go figure it out for yourselves. Now, there's another thing that I want to, but I really have a big bummer with the PlayStation thing. Is they recently released Sly Cooper 4: Thieves in Time for the PlayStation 3. But the PlayStation 4 isn't going to be able to play PlayStation 3 games. And that's the same thing with the Xbox One and the Xbox 360. It's not like backwards compatible. Which makes sense. I mean, if they were going to do that, they have to put a small console inside a new console. And that costs a lot of money. And the whole device is going to be more cost. It's going to cost more if they're going to do that. So I basically think that that's an alright decision, but why couldn't they have just fucking waited with that Sly Cooper game? Come on, man. Couldn't they just have fucking waited? I mean, if Sony had a new Sly Cooper game in their launch lineup, that would have been perfect. That would have been so fucking perfect. If they had Sly Cooper 4: Thieves in Time as one of their launch titles, that would have been just amazing. That would have like nailed me right there, saying, yeah, this is the brand I love, these are the people that I love, this is where I belong. But they didn't do that. And I love Killzone too, and I think it's great that they have that in there. But at the same time, they're a step ahead of Microsoft, which basically has no games announced at this point. And really, there's gonna take a hell of a lot for Microsoft to win me over, because right now I'm fucking pissed at them. Because they are turning their backs at us gamers, and they are not being consumer friendly. That's for sure. So right now, for me, the PlayStation 4 is what I want. And that's not only because I'm a PlayStation fanboy in some respect. That's because they did a better job at getting me excited about their product. I mean, they did a better job at like showing their consumers this is what we're doing, and they're also going to be like showing with games like Journey, which is an amazing game, that they are prepared to like help indies out, and that's just such a good thing for gaming. That's a good thing for the whole industry, and I just think that they've done a better job overall at like supporting the industry and getting gamers excited about their product. So I guess that's my thoughts on the new consoles. We'll have to see what happens at E3. I'm going to be very excited about that. But until then, just stay tuned and subscribe and like and all that for more quality videos from Wing Productions. Bye!